Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's me, Mr. Mario. Welcome to another episode of Thrifty Gaming Pickups, here with my dog, Lily. I like to include her in every single episode here. And what is Thrifty Gaming Pickups? Well, Thrifty Gaming Pickups is a series I like to do on my second channel here. Yes, I did say second. You want another treat? Here you go, Lily. Sit for it. Ah, Lily, just don't be so rough. Anyways, it's a series I like to do on my second channel. I did say second channel because I do have a main channel, Mr. Mario 2011, down below in the description that has more to do with modding and tutorial related stuff and just some stuff that is in general a lot more edited. This series really is not edited all that much. A lot of time is kind of just one take with little to no editing. So anyways, this is a series I like to do where I go and I show you all a lot of gaming related things that I decide to pick up, either from thrift stores, game stores, let's see, I don't know, garage sales, what have you. It's been a while since we've done a garage sale type thing. But anyways, what I like to do is I like to show you all these deals that I've gotten. So what are we going to do for this episode? We're going to go ahead and sit down here on the floor that Lily might or might not have thrown up on, and you know, we cleaned up and we might need to clean again. Not sour about that by any means. Anyways, let's go ahead, sit down on the floor here, and I'll show you all what I got for this episode. Now, generally what I like to do is I like to let my pile, I guess you can say, stack up a little bit, and then once I feel like I need to clear it out of my office here, I do recording and I move it all down to the game room, get all organized the best I can. Lily, come here. You want another one? There you go. Okay, cool. Just chill out. Just chill out, dog. All right. Anyways, let's go ahead and see what we were doing here. First of all, I'm going to show you all some of the most expensive stuff here. So this is also the oldest stack, and it's a smaller one. But this right here is some stuff that I end up getting from a half-price books. Now, I've been talking about half-price books on here for quite a while. Even Lily has been interested in it a little bit. And half-price books is one of those places, you wouldn't really expect game stuff, but I would highly recommend going. Why? Because they generally have some decent games and some pretty decent deals, and check out the clearance section of the game section if you ever decide to go. Anyways, I ended up grabbing a few games here that I saw. Most of them were on clearance, but here is Brain Age for the DS. I've got a few, I purchased it a few times on the 3DS through the DS, is that DSiWare? I don't know. No, it was Sudoku, never mind. I purchased Sudoku, but not Brain Age. So I've never played or owned Brain Age, but for $3 I said, hey, cool, I'll give it a shot. SOCOM US Navy SEALs Fireteam Bravo for the PSP. I think I played this one time, but I've never owned it, so $3. Now it's added to the collection. Right, Lily? She's kind of interested in these. Lily, you're just so cute sometimes. Here, this is not on clearance, unfortunately, but I did not have it. I do have it on Switch, but I decided to grab it here on the Wii for a few reasons. One, I wanted to play it. Two, it's the misprint copy, which I'll show you all here. If you know what I'm talking about, you probably already see it, but if not, I will point it out. This was $10, so I really didn't mind picking it up for that little. It's also on PS2, and then I said I have it on Switch, but I just don't have the PS2 version. I don't really need it because I think the Wii version is probably going to be better, and then of course the Switch version is what I'm playing it on. But anyways, I am just looking here. If you look right here, check this out. You see something familiar? Maybe something that reminds you of IGN right about there. Yeah, the first few pressings of this, I want to say the first big batch of Okami for Wii, end up having this IGN logo right here. Somebody really messed up when putting together this cover art, sadly. Or I think it's funny. Anyways, I know Capcom did resolve this in future pressings of Okami for the Wii, and if you got one of these, at the time, if you bought it brand new, you could also contact Capcom and they would give you a new sleeve, like new cover art, which did not have the issue on it. But I love that issue right there. I love it. I think it's funny. So I made sure that I had it and I picked it up. So for $10, sure, why not? This was the most expensive game in this stack. Of course, at $25 is Animal Crossing. I have played this a few times. I did not own it. I never owned it. But unfortunately, it is complete, but unfortunately it does not have the 59 block memory card, which is advertised here, so that is a little bit unfortunate. I actually rented this from Blockbuster back in the day, so I'm going to tell you a little bit of a story. I rented it when it first came out. Tried it, wasn't really feeling it, but it came with the memory card. And then I think a few weeks later, I rented it again, and the memory card was gone. And I was one of those kids, like, I was responsible with the stuff, right? Like, I would put everything back from whence it was and all that stuff if I was renting it. Like, if it wasn't mine, I treated it better than my own stuff. So I remember it just blew my mind that somebody would have stolen it. But now thinking back, I'm like, damn, I could have had a free 59-block memory card. Because somebody did. Somebody rented it and took that memory card because I was too good to take it, but someone else did. Anyways, this was not $25. Thankfully, my girlfriend had a half-off coupon, and she allowed me to use it, and actually, it even said you can only use it one time, but she used it for her purchase, and she used it for my purchase. So that obviously was not the case. But either way, I paid $12.50 for this, which for a near-complete copy, I would say is pretty damn good. Back to the clearance stuff, I grabbed Need for Speed Rivals on Xbox 360 for $3. Lego Star Wars, the video game, on Xbox 360 for another $3. And this was not half-price books, but I decided to also check out a vintage stock. And I sold this game a while ago. I had it at one point, I got rid of it, and I said, hey, actually, I'm kind of interested in playing this, and for $7, why the hell not? It wasn't on sale or anything, I just thought it was a good deal at $7, so picked it up. But that was I would say the most expensive stack of games right there, which Lily you can totally have. So next up, let's go ahead and get into a few other things here. Now I'm gonna show you all this, right? I guess I'll tell you now, and just keep all this in mind. It's for all the stuff you see in here. Today I did this. I went to a bunch of thrift stores because they were having a $1 sale on all books and media. Are you following? $1 on all books and media. So every single item you're seeing here, unless I say otherwise, was $1. Not $1 total, but $1 each, all right? So here with my $1 finds, first of all, I end up finding, well, actually, this is the final place I went to. I got Tony Hawk's Underground 2 for the PS2. Aside from that, it's complete and in pretty solid condition. And as you can see, I mean, just while you're watching this, just look at the original prices. And remember, I paid $1 for each of these. So this is originally $7. Dead Space 3, this did not have a price on it, but I would assume it'd be at least $5 or $6. And this is in excellent shape, aside from just that sticker right there. Excellent shape, and it is complete. I think there's a code on there too, so I'm not even going to show that, but it is complete, which surprised me. And this was also a big surprise. Dynasty Warriors 5 Emperors, and somebody had bought this from a vintage stock or a movie trading company and never even opened it. So that was a big surprise to me too. But then it was funny because when I brought it up to the counter, the guy who was, there was one guy who was checking me out. And the other guy, he looked at it, he was like, oh man, I was going to get that Dynasty Warriors 5. And I asked, oh, really? And he said, yeah, I was thinking about it. And I told him, I was like, oh, I'm sorry, but I just grabbed it because I don't have it, and I'm shocked that it was here. And he's like, yeah, no, you wouldn't expect to see it here. And I even pointed out, I said, yeah, whoever donated it, they bought it from vintage stock, and they didn't even open the thing. So I don't know what was going on there, but either way, $1 for this. Next up, I went to another one of these stores and surprisingly found a good amount of PSP games. So I found Rock Band Unplugged, Sonic Rivals, and look, I mean, these were kind of overpriced there, but hey, you know what? These were $1 each, so each of these would have been sold for $10. The Sims 2 Castaway. You know what? I'm not even super interested in this. I'll try it out at one point, but it's not even complete, is it? No, it's not. But for $1, I couldn't pass it up. And finally, Lemmings. I was shocked that I found this. I was utterly shocked. And for $1, hell yeah. Now, this also surprised me too. This, I actually ended up finding at another store I went to, and it was hiding under a bunch of stuff. And it's funny because it was in the game section, and when I pointed out, they were even like, oh, that's been there for a while. And I was like, well, yeah, I guess I haven't seen it, but I also haven't been here in several weeks, so I mean, it could have been there. But either way, I thought, aside from like the light scuffs, this is in really great shape. I was shocked at this, and I did not have this guide. I did not have it, so I am really happy to have this. And it is video game related, but it's not media, but guess what? It's a book. This thing was $1, but even if it wasn't, it would have been like $2.50 because it is technically a it's a soft cover. It's not yet paperback. That's what it is. It's a paperback book, which are pretty cheap. So yeah, with all these there, Lily, if you want to read about Halo 3, you totally can. There you go. Really happy to have that. Really happy. Now, these are not games, but I ended up throwing them in here just because when I went to the same store where I got these games from, I also surprisingly found some HD DVDs. Not just some, I found several here. Now, I did reach out, I'm going to shout him out. Shout out to one of my Discord moderators, Woody. I know several weeks ago he ended up picking up a HD DVD player, and he got it from a thrift store. He took it apart, checked it out, and he's had it displayed. But I know, Woody, I'm talking to him now. I know it has to be kind of hard to find HD DVDs locally. So I ended up hitting him up and I said, hey, I found these right here. These are $1 each. Let me know if you want them. I will get them to you. And unfortunately, it was one of those things. I messaged him. He was offline. He wasn't able to reply. But I just still decided to get them anyways because I said, you know what? Best case, I'll just have him pay me back for the price of these plus shipping, and I'll ship them out to him. So it'll probably equate to, it'll be no more than like $2 per disc, which is still a pretty good deal. So, you know, if that works out, it's all good. Worst case, if he says, no, I don't want any of these, I could either hold on to them or I can get rid of them. It doesn't matter to me. At $1 each, it's really not hurting me, thankfully. But either way, with all of these here, I got 300, Shooter, Hot Rod, the Italian Job. This one I notice is the only one that I would say is incomplete. It doesn't have any inserts. And finally, Blue Planet IMAX. And also it comes with a bonus movie. Cool. I will say this one I have never ever seen. I've never seen it in any place that sells HD DVDs. These other four I would say are pretty common. With, I want to say maybe Hot Rod is the one I've seen the least. One thing I am shocked by is that I found all of these and none of them were King Kong. Because King Kong was pretty much the HD DVD that every single HD DVD player owner owned. Because most people who would get HD DVD players were getting the Xbox 360 expansion, which came with a free copy of King Kong. So King Kong has to be like the most common one. Right, Lily? This dog is about to fall asleep on Halo 3. My God. That is so cute. Anyways, so Woody, you know, this is going to come out in a few weeks. I know later tonight he'll probably hit me back up. But Woody, if you want this, hopefully they get to you. If not, you know, whatever. It's all good. But yeah, I'm trying to think of others when when the time comes. And here I end up getting a big stack of games. So let's kind of cleaned up a little bit. I'm even going to split up into 2 stacks. And most of you have, I mean, you've all already seen the titles and such. But either way, here, Murakumo, Renegade Mech Pursuit. This is a Xbox exclusive for the original Xbox. I've never heard of this. Never heard of this. And I certainly don't own it, so I decided to pick it up. $4, but I decided to pick it up for $1 because they were selling it for $1. Kingo, Legend of the Nine. I think I played the one that came out on PS2. I wasn't too crazy about it, but it's here on the Xbox 360. This is a exclusive as well, so it was cool to see this, check it out and everything. And yeah, $1 for this. Panzer Dragoon Orta. Some of these I actually already have, but I picked up duplicates either to kind of replace my copies or to give to some friends and such, so that's why. But this one, this time around, they had some excellent deals, and I even have another story to bring in. Not just deals in like they had really good titles, but Panzer Dragoon Orta, totally worth $1. Indigo Prophecy, Phantom Dust, and each of these is like $4 a piece. This one, Dead or Alive 3, I know specifically I got this because I have it, but I have the Platinum Hits version, and I'm just not crazy about that cover. The cover, it has, you know, it's obviously silver as Platinum Hits, and then it has Tina on it. And I've just always thought that this cover looks a lot cooler. So yeah, happy to have the original now. Def Jam Fights for New York. Never played this one, so I'll give it a shot. Then right here, got a few others. This is Tao Feng, Fist of the Lotus. I've heard not the best things about it. I remember when it came out, it was pretty well panned. But for $1, I can't complain. This was the most surprising thing to me. I found Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag on Xbox One for $1. This is now, is it? No, this is the second cheapest Xbox One game I've purchased. The cheapest Xbox One game I've purchased was Devil May Cry, and it was under $1. I think it was 87 cents because I specifically remember getting 13 cents back because I just paid with a $1 bill. So the cheapest game I've ever paid for physical on the Xbox One was Devil May Cry. Next up was this, $1. Epic Mickey 2, The Power of Two on Wii. This was also $1. Brain Age 2, so now I have both of them. $1. As you can see, this used to be $3. Shadow Ops Red Mercury. Never played this game. Another exclusive, never owned it. $1. I said sure. Shinobi on PS2. I actually thought this game was pretty dope. Very hard, but pretty dope, and you can cheat through it, of course. Time Splitters. I never see anyone really talk about the first Time Splitters, but here's the first Time Splitters. I thought the cheats and stuff were really cool on this, so $1. And the last one here, one that I have never owned, never played, Men of Valor on the original Xbox, again for $1. So the other thing I wanted to tell you all about this stack here was when I was going through it, because there was tons of Xbox games, tons of PS2 games, and really good stuff too. And several games they were great titles, but I skipped out on them because, I already have them. But two of them that I skipped out on were Zone of the Enders 1 and 2. Zone of the Enders 1, I skipped on it because I already own a complete copy of it on PS2. I bought it from GameStop back in the day. Or I guess EB Games, that's it. But it was the one I have. It has the game, it has the manual, the cover art, and the Metal Gear Solid 2 demo. This one only had the game disc and the cover art and case. And then same thing, they had Zone of the Enders 2, so Zone of the Enders the second runner, which I believe that game actually used to be quite valuable. And I looked it up because I wanted to see if I could resell it. It dramatically dropped in price. It's like a $10 game now, but I think that used to be like a $30, $40 game used. So I don't know what happened to that one. But that was also same thing. It was disc only. Well, it was disc with case and the cover art, no manual. And I'm pretty sure I have both. I have the first one. I'm pretty sure I have the second one on PS2. And I also have the HD collection. I actually have two copies of it. I have a regular edition on Xbox 360, and I have the limited edition on Xbox 360. So I didn't need them. But this just kind of warmed my heart a little bit because the employees helped me go through them. And let's pretend Dead or Alive 3 is Zone of the Enders. So he kind of picked it up because he took the stack back that I was done with. He picked it up and kind of just put it to the side like this. And I even asked, I was like, hey, are you getting that? And he was like, yeah, I was thinking about it. And I said, dude, that is a great game, and you could actually get both of them right there. And he was like, wait, do you play these together or what? Pretend this is the second one. And I was like, well, yeah, this is the original one, this is the second one, but I recommend them. And then he asked me, hey, what is this game about? So I grabbed the first one and I kind of showed him some of the screenshots and told him what I remembered, and he was just lighting up. He seemed like he was maybe 18, 19, something like that, younger dude, but he was just lighting up hearing about it. And I told him, I was like, I can definitely recommend these. I'm not getting them because I already own them, but I can absolutely recommend them to you. They're great games. For $1 each, you are getting a steal. And he decided to just kind of take both of them, put them over to the side, and then he even said while he was helping me, he's like, excuse me, I'm going to make a call. I'm going to call my dad and see if he still has the PS2. I don't think he was able to get through to his dad, but he decided to get the both of them. And when I asked him about it, I think he misheard me because I was like, hey, were you able to get that PS2? He was like, yeah, he told me something completely different, so I think he misheard me. But the story he told me was, when I was growing up, I had a PS2 and I didn't really have any cool games. I had Ed, Eddy, and I was like, hey, as a fan of that show, that game was okay. He's like, yeah, but I had Ed, Eddy, and I had Bakugan, and I didn't have any cool games, So I'm looking to see if I can, get my PS2 to play those. But thanks for the recommendation. And I told him, I said, no problem. And honestly, You work at a thrift store. Even if you can't get a hold of your dad, even if your dad for some reason got rid of that PS2, you should just keep working here and just wait for another PS2 to come in. As soon as a PS2 comes in, snag it, just snag it for those games. So I told him, I was like, even if you don't have a PS2 right now, buy those games because they're both great games. That's an excellent deal at $1 each, and wait until a PS2 comes in if you can't get a hold of one. But that was just, it made me so happy because I was like, I passed on these games for a few reasons, and then this employee wanted them, and I got him onto them, and he seemed to be quite excited about it. So made me happy, man. It made me happy. But anyways, there's also something else I was looking for. Let me see if I could find it real quick. So I could have skipped on these 3 here, excluding them from them and just including them in the next episode. But 1, this is the episode where I'm saying most of the things in here I paid $1 each for. And 2, oh, Lily, you are just so cute. But number 3, the comments with these are funny. So what happened was I ended up getting a small stack right here from another store I went to, and I guess actually I'll just put them over the HD DVDs. So first of all, I was gonna get the games, and then I ended up seeing this, which just completely threw me off. And it's funny because the guy I was talking to, he was doing community service, so he was kind of a bit all over the place. Like, I had to call him a few times and kind of just go up to him and be like, hey, I'd like to see some stuff here. So he was a little absent-minded, but he was real cool to talk to, and just the comments were great, what he was saying. This was the most expensive thing out of this stack. And by the way, on these others, thankfully he was wrong on this. I asked about the games being media, and he was like, no, they're $5 each. And I was like, oh, but your guys are having the dollar sale. And he was like, no, the games are $4.99 each. When they rang up, though, each of them was $1, which worked out great because there were only a few games I wanted to get, and the games I wanted to get I felt like were worth $5, but they end up being $1, so that's even better. But anyways, right here, this seems to be a keychain which came as a promotional item for Ni no Kuni 2, as you can see, not for sale. So this had to be a promo pre-order item of some kind. When I saw this, he was like, oh yeah, I thought that was like a Lisa Simpson type thing. And I was like, yeah, me too, but it surprised me. So I ended up paying half off for this, so it ended up being $1.50. And I ended up getting this for one of my friends she does not watch the show here. So thankfully she's not gonna know I'm getting this for her. But got this for one of my friends, so she will get that as a surprise. I've gotten just several things in this episode for other people, but mind you, that's how it be sometimes. There's even not related to Thrifty gaming pickups. I ended up pre-ordering a game a while ago, which just came in stock today. It just arrived today, and that's also for one of my friends. I got 2 copies, and it came with like a keychain as well, so I have 2 keychains, but one of the keychains, which I didn't even know, one of them's for me, one of the games is for me, and the other 2 are going to be for him. So today, just everything, everything is for other people. But this here, again, promo keychain for $1.50, can't complain. And the games here, the comments he had with this one, he said, oh, this game is so cool. You can hold a gun and a Bible in the other hand at the same time. And I was like, wait, really, what's the Bible for? He's like, I don't remember what it's for, but I just remember you can hold a Bible. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. I've never played the original Call of Juarez, but, for $1, sure. Especially, I thought it was going to be $4.99, but thankfully he was wrong. Trauma Center, Second Opinion. I've never played this. I've heard good things about it. And he said, oh, the Game Grumps played this game. I know about that. And then the last one here, Goblin Commander, Unleash the Horde. Never played this. Never heard of it. Seems to be a RTS type game in a way. And he looked at this and said, oh, this looks kind of like Psychonauts. And I was like, I guess, like, the cover looks kind of like it, but not really the gameplay. I didn't say that out loud. I thought it was funny, though. So yeah, I just thought that was entertaining. I had to bring these back up here just because of that guy's his comments on them. And now, some of the last stuff here. Let me move these over a bit. Lily, your butt will get them. There you go. What is a Thrifty Gaming Pickups episode without getting a console. I mean, it's still a Thrifty Gaming Pickups episode, but still, getting a console is always cool. I was shocked to find this, so it's funny, because I went to one section in one of the stores, and I found this 360 Slim power supply without the cable. And I picked it up because I was like, oh, cool. All right, I'll pay a few bucks for this just to have it on hand. Like, I could always use an extra power supply. And then I started looking around a bit. I was like, well, where's the game section? And it's like, I could sense it, man. I could just sense these things out at this point. I was like, if there's a power supply, that means there has to be a 360 around here. And if there isn't a 360 around here, that means there was a 360 around here. So let me look. And like, just a little bit over to the right of this, a Xbox 360, and this cable. So I put the cable back in. 360 seems to be a Trinity model because it has been made, when was it? You check it here. Actually, I don't remember the exact date. No. Well, it could still be a Trinity. I don't know. Either way, November 7th, 2011. I'll have to do the rest of the checks and such on here. But regardless, it has not been tampered with. It was one of the matte models here, as you can see. So it does not have the, what am I trying to say? It's one of the matte models, so it did not come with the hard drive. And I did check it, mind you. Unfortunately, there was no hard drive that was left in there. And it looks like it's in good condition, and at the same time, it was in a dirty home. So I will definitely open this up and cleaned up and everything. That was the price of it, which I thought was, already okay. But this was half off because it was also half off electronics. So I ended up paying about $17.50 for this, which I can't complain about at all. Just get an HDMI cable, get a controller. You're good to go at that point, man. So there we go. Another trendy. And actually, I want to say, this has to be a trendy model because of when it was made. Now I'm really thinking. Hold on. Is it? No. Could be a Corona. This could be a Corona. I'm spacing a little bit here. I was thinking of the, I want to say it was August of 2011 and before. That's when they had the older drives. And then after that, they switched over to the Corona motherboards. And those ones have the Lite-On 16 D5S. So that means if you want to flash this drive here to play burned, backed up games, you will have to RGH the system, which I do plan to do at one point. You have to reset glitch hack the system, retrieve the DVD key, put in a whole new unlocked board into the drive there, and flash it with the DVD key that you've pulled using the RGH method. So I'll do that at one point. It'll be a fun time. But last thing here, which there was a lot, and I don't know, it made me laugh here. But at the same store I end up getting the HD DVDs and these from, I end up bringing these. And when the employees saw them, they're like, oh wow, you're really coming out strong. Like, they just made a few comments. They also made a few other things. Like, I'll show you here. So I got this this another one of these, that, oh, and you can't forget this. I got all this stuff. I had this all in my cart, right? And this was in the media section. And remember I told you about the deal. $1 for all media, $1 for all books, and half off electronics, mind you. But yeah, if you all have not seen previous episodes where I've gotten burned media or blank media, I've said this several times, and I'll say it again here for anybody who does not know or they need a refresher. When I go to thrift stores and I see older blank media like this, I like to pick it up because I still do a decent amount of modding with older systems. Occasionally, I will need to burn a disc of some kind, whether it be a CD or a DVD. It could be for music, it could be for a movie, it could be for a game, what have you. Whatever the reason is. Point being, though, there's two reasons why I picked these up. One, a lot of times the media that you get is cheaper than the brand new stuff that you can get at a store or online right now. And two, it's also better. Like, it's going to be better quality, it's going to be cheaper. So, for example, like this stack of Sony CDRs right here. I don't even know if Sony still makes CDR discs, but pretty much aside from a few, and this is kind of a new development, I can tell you, the 2019 edition. For the past few years, most blank media is pressed by like the same few companies, which is generally like CMC Magnetics, and it's not as good quality as what it used to be. Like that's kind of some of the cheaper stuff, so to speak. So it's really like, for example, if you buy like a verbatim CDR, it's not verbatim that's making it. Like 10 years ago, 2009, yeah, I'd say that's about right. 10 years ago, verbatim made that verbatim CDR. But as of the past few years, CMC Magnetics is making those verbatim CDRs, which are going to be lower quality than the actual verbatim pressings. The Sony ones, for example, they used to be pressed by Sony. Then at one point, they just put it out under a different, they put out a different brand with their same logo and such on them. So you're really getting a lower quality disc with a different brand on it, is what I'm saying. Now at this point, you know, I would recommend getting like Teo Uden discs if you need CDRs and even DVDs. The problem is, I want to say Teo Uden is part of Philips. I want to say that's it. But regardless, Teo Uden, as of quite recently, like within the past month I heard about this, they're no longer pressing blank media, unfortunately. So even my recommendation of saying, oh, if you have to buy some new CDRs on Amazon for whatever reason, get Teo Uden, that's only going to be valid for maybe the next year or so, because whatever has been pressed and is out there in the wild, brand new, that's it. That's all we have. So whenever I see like actual Sony stuff like this, I pick it up. Even if it's a little bit of a less desirable brand, like let's say Staples, for example, I'll pick it up because the cheap stuff from about 10 years ago, let's say, I'll just say this as an example, a cheap disc from 10 years ago is more than likely going to be better than a cheap disc in 2019. And that's just the sad truth to it. So that's why I saw all this. I picked it all up, man. And it was funny because they were kind of saying, now I can say the other comments, they're like, oh man, you're just going to be burning so many CDs and DVDs. Oh, you're just burning a ton of stuff. Yeah. And I was kind of laughing along with it. And then at the end, I did tell them what I did tell you. I told them a much more condensed version, but I said, yeah, I still occasionally have to burn stuff. And not only this stuff here at a thrift store is cheaper, but it's actually better than the shit that I'm going to find brand new in a store now. So that's why if I see blank media in a thrift store, I pick it up. And I would actually encourage you all as well too. If you're all kind of like me, you might still burn things on occasion, or you do console modding or what have you that's going to require this stuff at times. If you find good deals, like I'm not saying like, don't pay $20 for this if you find it at a thrift store. But if you find it for $2, it's totally worth it. Just like this, don't pay $30 for this at a thrift store. But if you find it for like $10, $5, get it. That's what I can recommend. I have to come away saying that. But let's get in the story here. So he starts putting them all in. And he was kind of hesitant on these. And he even made a joke. He's like, all right, let's see. So it's $1 per media. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we start laughing. He's like, no, it's fine. So $1, $1, $1, $1, $1, $1, $1. And he put all in. He's like, wait a minute. Like, I'm not sure if this counts. And I said, hey, dude, I've got blank media here before. Like when you all had like a half off media sale and I saw like blank DVDs and blank CDs, like you all count it for that price. And he's like, I know. And I said, well, also this was in the media section. He said, I know. Just to make sure this is kosher, I'm going to check with the manager. I just want to double check, but I'm going to stress to them that you found this in the media section, because normally, like with this stuff, I'd be okay, but like here, this is like, $8, $10. I'm a little bit more hesitant. I just give me a few moments. I just want to check with the manager. So I thought he was the manager the whole time, which surprised me. But he left after a few minutes. He came back and he's like, we had a few disagreements, but yes, you can get all of these for $1 each, which was expected. I just thought that little transgression was funny. But the original price on these, let's take a look. This was $10. This was $8. These are DVDs here. This I even debated on getting, but because it's half full. But I was like, well, wait a minute. So 50 Sony discs here, still $1. You know what? I'm paying 2 cents a disc as opposed to 1 cent a disc. It's fine. But yeah, this was originally $4. Here's some more of these Sony DVDs, and these are really good, by the way. I've used them a few times. They are really good. $8. $2 for this pretty much brand new pack of 25 Staples DVD RWs. These other Sony DVDs are really great too. All these are single layer. There's unfortunately no dual layer stuff, but these are DVD plus Rs. This was $2. And $10 right there for some CDRs. I don't know the brand on this, unfortunately. I'll just figure out once I pop it into my computer. But here, 10, 20, 28, 36, 40, 42, 44. So we went from $44 to $7 for all this. And I'm probably not going to need any of it for a while, because you all have seen me pick up several spindles of these if you've been watching the show for a while now. And if you have, thank you. But again, I do like to stock up on it because, you know, I am right now, thanks to the deals, I do bring in more than I actually use. But the thing is, in several years, like let's say this is it, right? In the next 5 years, I cannot find any more blank media at thrift stores, or I can't find good deals on them. I have more than enough to sustain me. And I'm good with that, and I'm happy, and I'm settled with it because it's all pretty solid quality stuff. And occasionally, you might run into an oddie. For somebody who's saying, oh, you're not going to run into it, it all works the same. First of all, no, it doesn't work the same. I've burned enough discs in my lifetime to know that not all discs are equal, not all discs are going to work the same. Plus I have some picky things. Xbox drives can be picky, certain CD players can be picky. I actually have a CD recorder, like one that you actually hook up inputs into and you can record to a CD. It's really cool, and I've used it to digitize several of my vinyls. That is the pickiest device I have in my collection. And out of all of the CDs, all the CDRs and even RWs that I've tried, the only discs that it likes are CDR music type discs. And thankfully, I got a pack of like 50 of them from a thrift store a few years ago. So that is the only set of CDRs and the only type of branding of CDRs I have that works properly on this device. And because of that, that's why I still pick these up. Because even if I don't use all of them like all at once, I at least have options for weird fringe things like that end up happening to me. But anyways, that is about it. So as you can see, most of the stuff you're seeing here was $1 each. So I think I came away pretty damn well with everything. Damn. Anyways, this is Mr. Mario signing off. Thank you all for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, a like would absolutely be appreciated. If you didn't like it, a dislike is fine as well too. But you see this dog? You see this dog right there who's looking away? If you dislike this video, man, she's just going to be looking away for all eternity because she's going to be way too sad.